Today the desert whispers low, its sands as still as my soul's flow. The falcon circles, yet does not cry, even the sky forgets to sigh. A shadow walks beside my name, its silence louder than a flame. I seek the stars for just one sign, but clouds have veiled what once would shine. Oh heart, be patient, do not break, even the moon has time to wake. And sorrow, though it grips so tight, will one day turn to morning light. So I will ride where dunes run deep, and trust the winds my tears will keep. For in the stillness I shall find the echo of my peaceful mind. I walked alone where the wind forgets its name, where shadows ride on dunes of flame, a desert stretch not just in land, but in the caverns of the soul, an endless strand. I felt a pulse beneath my feet, not of earth, but memories incomplete. The sun, relentless in its grace, still could not dry the tears that time refused to erase. My horse, he knew the quiet well. He trod with care where silence fell. His eyes, like mine, had seen the night when stars would hide and hopes take flight. O land of mine, I softly spoke, why must the heart bear every yoke? Is sorrow carved into your face, or is it love I fail to trace? The palm trees swayed in gentle prayer, their arms like minarets in air. They reach not up, but inward deep, into the places we cannot keep, where loss resides and dreams still sleep. I knelt beside a wadi dry, its bed like ribs that once knew sky. I touched the earth, it did not cry. It simply waited, as do I, for not all storms wear clouds as crowns, name the clouds as crowns. Some ride within and pull us down. Some come in silence, masked as peace, only to haunt us when we cease. My fingers drew your name in sand. I watched it fade beneath my hand. And though the grains now shift and roam, they carry you, they take you home. You, the one I could not keep. Your eyes like dusk, your voice like sleep. You walked with wind, you loved with fire, and left my world, yet not my desire. The nights we shared in desert air with fires lit and hearts laid bare still burn inside this empty chest, a furnace that will not rest. But life moves like the hawk in flight, unseen by day, fierce in the night. It hunts not joy nor seeks to win. It only moves, it has no kin. Still I ride where no roads go, across the sand, through past and woe. The silence speaks what tongues cannot, it hums of pain that we forgot. The stars return to skies once bare, but they do not light the same affair. They shine, yes, but not for me. They shine for what will never be. Yet from this ache, a strength has grown, for hearts must break to be our own. We are not made from joy alone. We are the fire, we are the stone. I've seen the camel kneel at dawn, its shadow long, its burden gone. And I have learned to do the same, to bow beneath my quiet shame. For what is pride but hollow steel? What use is armor hearts can't feel? Better to walk the burning land bare-chested true with open hand. The poet writes not just to mend, but to remember to transcend, to carve in verse what cannot stay, to keep the night from stealing day. So I will write of falcon's flight, of silent dunes and sleepless night, of love that left and did not die. It only waits beneath the sky. O stranger reading, if you too have walked the storms and lost what's true, know this. You're not alone in pain. This desert grows with every name. We are the keepers of the past. The tears we shed are never last. We water roots we cannot see, and from our wounds comes poetry. Let every grain beneath your shoe remind you that the earth knew too, the stories that you dare not speak, the nights when even faith felt weak. The falcon watches from afar. It does not mourn, it bears no scar. Yet still it knows when hearts descend, it waits in silence like a friend. And when the time is right, you'll rise, not from command, but from the skies, from something deeper, raw and wide, a truth the sea could never hide. Yes, let them say the prince is grieved. Let them whisper, let them believe. For loss is not what makes us fall, but what we do when shadows call. So I will ride, and I will write. My verse is born of endless night. And if you hear your soul in mine, then take my hand. We share this line. Line. This poem ends, but not the tale, for desert hearts will never pale. They burn with stars, they dance with sand, they live as long as love shall stand. I rose before the desert light, before the sky could wash the night, before the falcon spread his wings and silence stirred with sacred things. The wind, a whisper on my face, carried names I could not trace. They touched my soul like mother song, faint, forgotten, but still strong. I did not speak, I did not weep. The grief I bore had sunken deep. No tear would rise to greet the sand. They dried before they left my hand. They say the prince must never break, his voice a rock, his heart a lake. But even lakes run dry with time, and rocks will crack beneath the climb. I rode alone where dunes rolled wide, My stallion fierce with storm inside. He knew the rhythm of my pain, hooves like thunder, breath like rain. The desert stretched like fate ahead, a kingdom where the past has bled. Its silence louder than the crowd, its stillness wrapped me like a shroud. Each tree, each breeze, each bending reed spoke of stories lost to need. Each star above, now pale and shy, once saw me laugh, now hears me cry. Love was here before it died. It walked with me, then stepped aside. No sword had killed it, no cruel word. It vanished softly, never heard. Do you remember when we stood among the dunes, just flesh and blood? Your scarf and wind, your eyes so clear like ancient wells that drew me near. I told you then the stars were ours. You laughed and said, they're far like scars. And still I swore I'd hold them tight and hang them on your door each night. But promises, like sand, can shift. What once stood tall may start to drift. And even falcons must descend, when wings grow tired and skies won't bend. You left not with a scream or flame, just with the weight of your own name. You took the silence, gave it weight, and left the gate to seal my fate. Now even light has turned its face, and dawn feels cold in every place. But palms no longer dance the same. They bend for me, but not my name. The city calls me back to reign, to where the robes conceal the strain. But I am prince of something more, a realm of echoes, wounds, and lore. I do not seek thrones carved of stone. I build my kingdom in the bone. Where love once ruled and broke apart, I lay the bricks of this torn heart. For what is strength if not to feel? To kneel before what time can steal? To walk again with shattered glass, and still believe the pain will pass. I have not slept since that goodbye. I walk the night beneath the sky. And though the stars refuse to speak, they burn for those of hearts still weak. This is my vow, and this my blade, to rise not healed, but unafraid. To write the grief in endless lines, until my tears fall into rhymes. The falcon waits atop the hill, he watches still, he watches still, he watches still. He does not cry, nor does he fly, he teaches me to just ask why. So I will ride through every dune, through storm and sorrow, sun and moon, until the ache becomes the air, and pain no longer feels unfair. The desert does not love or hate, it simply is. It simply waits, simply wait. It takes the heart and cracks it wide, then teaches how to walk with pride. You may have gone, but I remain, with wind and sky, with joy and pain. And when the final verse is done, I'll know I bled to face the sun. The desert changes as it pleases, and never begs, and never teases, and never begs. And it shifts its form beneath the stars, and hides old truths behind new scars. I've learned its ways, I know its art. It sculpts its kingdoms out of heart. And I, its servant, bruised and bare, walk still with pride through vacant air. A man may break, a prince may fall, but if he walks through all. Not just the joy that poets crave, but through the wounds he cannot save. The morning rises pale with grief. It wears no crown. It brings no relief. And yet I saddle up again, for I have made my peace with pain. 1,000 dunes ahead of me, each one a tomb, a memory. Yet still I ride. My horse he knows, we chase the sun where no one goes. The wind returns, it smells like her, of frankincense and sandalwood blur. Of nights beneath the stars we named, of promises that were not tamed, of promises that were not tamed. You wind, I whisper, do you keep the secrets lovers say in sleep? Do you still hear her gentle sighs when stars blink soft from empty skies? But wind, like fate, does not reply. It only moves, does not lie. It wraps my thoughts, it lifts my veil, it makes my strong seem small and frail. And frail. I found her scarf upon a tree, tied there like some strange memory. It waved to me as if to say, I left this here before the day. And I, the fool who dreamed of kings, tied verses to such fragile things. Now every breeze becomes her breath, each silence echoes what she left. But love does not just live in skin, it dwells where soul and sky begin. It plants its seeds in sacred ground and sings when no one is around. So I won't curse what's come and gone, the sun still rises. I ride on, with blood made fire and heart worn thin, but still I burn from deep within. There is no shame in crying dust when dreams decay and hope must rust. But there is power in standing tall, when all you love no longer calls. I passed an elder on the trail, bent from years, skin dry and pale. He looked at me with eyes like stone and said, You walk, but not alone. Yea. I asked him what his riddle meant. He smiled and nodded, soul content. The ones we lose, we never leave. They ride with us, though we still grieve. And I, the man who'd wept at fate, felt suddenly my burden weight. Not as a weight to drag me low, but as a truth that helps me grow. The road ahead still winds and weaves through haunted nights and golden eves. But now I know the wind's refrain. It sings her name to ease my pain. And when I sleep beneath the sky, she walks my dreams. She does not cry. She tells me love is not a cage, but something vast that grows with age. So I will ride where eagles fly, where mountains echo and rivers lie. And though her hands may not hold mine, her love still lives in every line. O heart, be brave. O soul, be kind. Forget not what you've left behind. But walk not bowed, nor bitterly. Walk forward now, and let it be. There's honor in a broken past when we still rise and love holds fast. There's strength in tears not shown to all, but shed when none will see them fall. So let the stars adorn the skies. Let silence teach and time baptize. For though I walk this road alone, I build a realm that's not unknown. Noon. A kingdom not of gold or might, but born from pain and turned to light, where every verse becomes a sword and every breath a whispered word. Yes, I remember and I grieve, but I no longer wish to leave. This heart, though torn, still beats the same, and every scar now knows her name. The nights are not as cruel as then. They now arrive like thoughtful men, who sit in silence by your fire, and do not speak unless inspired. The stars no longer sting with loss. They blink like guards who bear no cross, and I, their watcher, whether deep, now ride with thoughts I used to keep. What is the journey if not this? To climb through pain and fall through bliss? To lose, to learn, to bend, to bow? To understand the sacred how? Not every path is paved with song. Some are broken, some feel wrong. But even wrong roads lead to light, if we still ride, if we still fight. The dunes ahead were sharp and steep. They cut my soul. They made it weep. Yet every cut became a scar that glows now like a desert star. One day, while riding just past dawn, I met a boy with nothing on. No shoes, no shade, no food in hand, yet peace upon him like the sand. He asked me not for wealth or fame, nor did he ask to know my name. He only said, "What do you seek?" with desert dust upon his cheek. I paused unsure what I should say. My thoughts were wind that blew away. But then I found the words inside. "A peace," I said. He simply smiled. He pointed toward a crooked tree, alone and bent yet proud and free. He said, "That tree, its fruit is rare, but grows for hearts that heal despair." I gave a nod, then turned my head, but when I looked, the child had fled, vanished like myth, like scent and wind, a voice that comes and leaves within. That tree became my resting place. I sat beneath its twisted grace, and in its roots I saw my own. A life grown wild, but not alone. The birds above began to call, their tones no longer sounded small. Each note they sang I understood, like voices carved from ancient wood. "You are not broken," sang the dove. "You're just the proof of deeper love, the kind that aches and burns and bleeds, but feeds the sky with holy seeds." I closed my eyes and let them sting. I closed my eyes and let them sting. For tears, when true, can cleanse a king. And though my crown was made of sand, I wore it now with open hand. My father's voice returned to me, like wind through coral undersea. He said, "My son, the strong don't show their might by stone, but how they grow." He told me pain was not a curse, but nature's slow, unwritten verse, and those who read it, line by line, are gifted something more divine. I rose again with clearer breath, no longer chased by love or death, but walking now, not to forget, to forgive with a regret, without regret. The desert stretched its hands in peace. Its rage had softened. Storms would cease. Its winds no longer scratched my skin. They now moved through my soul within. Each dune now looked like folded prayer. Each echo held the name I bear. And in the silence, once so loud, I found a voice, not lost, but proud. I no longer begged skies for signs. The signs were carved in hidden lines. The way her silence taught me grace, the way her loss shaped time and place. Even the stones began to speak, their language subtle, old, and meek. They told me not to chase or cling, but learn the weight of everything, to lift a thought and let it fly, to carry pain and not ask why, to walk with death, but live with song, to grieve, but still know I belong. The falcon called again that day, not from above, but from the clay. He landed near, his wings pulled in, no longer king, but also kin. He bowed to drink, then looked at me, his gaze like wind across the sea. And in his stillness I could find that fear and hope are near aligned. He flew again, not as escape, but with the grace that storms reshape. And I, the watcher, once in pain, now understood. To rise is gain. The sun descended with gold fire. But I felt warmth, not lost desire. And as I set my tent with care, I breathed the truth now in the air. That love is not just arms and skin, it is the air we carry in. It is the loss we learned to hold. It is the story we retold. Slept that night with quiet heart, not whole, but strong and not apart. And dreams no longer came in tears, but danced through forgiven years.